channel. If you are new here, my name is Janae. I run a blog called Highlowluxxe and I focus on luxury, beauty, fashion, and travel. And today we are doing a get to know me. So I had everyone ask questions over on Instagram. If you don't follow me, Highlowluxxe, and I have them all here in my notebook. So I'm just going to go through randomly and answer the questions that you guys asked. So I hope this is somewhat enjoyable, and let's just get right into it. Okay, so before we get into the questions, I wanted to get like the just regular stuff out of the way. So if you were wondering, my name is Janae. I am from St. Louis, Missouri originally. I've lived in the DC area for the past 7 or 8 years. I am 34 years old and I don't have any kids. And what else? I did go to college. I went to a school in Missouri called Lindenwood University, and my major was dance at one point. What else? Journalism at one point. I was a very confused teenager, and I finished with a fashion merchandising degree. So I bounced around a little bit, and I'm 5'3½", if you were curious about that. So now that we got those out of the way, first question. What was my job before I started blogging? So if you don't follow me on Instagram, I have been full-time blogging slash YouTuber slash content creator for 2.5, almost 3 months now. And before that, I actually worked for Target. So I was a store manager at Target for the past 5 years almost. I managed 2 different stores, and before that I was an assistant manager. So that is what I did before blogging. Next question, best and worst experience as an entrepreneur. So far, the best experience is definitely, being able to do what I want every day, having complete control over my destiny. I can accomplish, anything every day because it's basically just up to me and how hard I want to work and how much effort I want to put in. So that is exciting. The hardest part is also just being alone. For me personally, I had over 300 team members that worked for me in my previous role. So now just being just me can be extremely lonely sometimes. I did write a blog post about it. I'll link it below, about just my first month as an entrepreneur, but it's definitely, it can be lonely at some time, at some point. So I would say that's the hardest part for me. And it's just basically, again, it's up to me to figure everything out, at least until I grow this thing a little more and can have employees. So those are the best and the worst so far. Let's see. Am I married? Technically, no, I am not. I am engaged, but I've been engaged for quite some time, almost 4 years, I think. And the thought of planning a wedding just gives me so much anxiety. We are definitely just gonna go to the courthouse at some point, probably before the end of this year. And yeah, so no, I'm not technically married yet, but we'll be together forever, so there's not a huge rush on it. What's next? How far along do you plan content? I use the Planoly app. I'll also link that below. Not sponsored, but I've used that for over 2 years, and you can basically put pictures into it and kind of like plan out what you want your feed to look like. And I usually plan out my content. I usually have enough content to plan out a few weeks in advance. I'm trying to get better at that on YouTube, but as far as Instagram, right now I probably have enough content to post every day for like the next 2 weeks and not take any new pictures. But I need to do that more for YouTube and have videos, like a collection of videos that I could post. Right now, what I create, I usually post the next day or the next 2 days. So that's how far in advance. I shoot usually once a week. My fiance shoots me, so usually on the weekends he will take my pictures, and then anything that you see that's like beauty related or around the house, I'll usually take that and just use my tripod so I can take pictures like that, and that just helps like kind of build up that stockpile. So that's how long did it take for me to find my style? That is a great question. I'm still finding my style. I definitely think as you get older, probably since I hit my 30s, I definitely know what I don't like, but I also am I like to try new things. There are certain styles that you'll always see me in. I love jeans, I love structured blazers, I love suits, and I love really girly dresses. But there are days where I want to look a little more sophisticated and classic. So I might wear like a sweater and jeans and loafers. And then there may be other days where I want to look more edgy and I might wear like knee-high boots and booty shorts. I don't know. So I do like to try different things. I don't like to put myself in too much of a box. But I think people that know me would definitely, like, they can look at something and say like, oh, that's you, or that's not you. And I can look at things and say that's not me. But I also don't put myself in too much of a box. I hope that makes sense. I try to keep my style somewhat fluid because, again, I'm in this fashion arena and I like to try new things. That's fun. Just depends on how I feel when I wake up. So, good question. Next, my hair. My hair, the question of the hour. I will put the link below. I've talked about this in a few other videos. The creator of this wig, her company is called The Wig House, and I will link her Instagram and her website. Her website is not technically up yet, so it'll say coming soon, and I think you can email her. That's all the information I have. We contacted each other through Instagram, and she made this unit for me. But that's all that I got, people. That's all I know. I don't know any of the details about this hair. I literally just sent her a few inspiration pictures and said I wanted to try some highlights for the summer, and she did everything else. Like, she sent me back a picture and said, this is what I made, what do you think? And I said, I love it. But I don't know what kind of hair it is. I don't know how she colored it. I don't know how she made it. That's all I know. So that's it on the hair. But again, I will link her info below. Feel free to email her, but I know she is just starting her business, so please be patient. Okay, next question. How do I afford designer items? This is a question I get a lot. And I would love to just say I budget my money and save for every single purchase, which I do sometimes, but not all the time. In my previous job, I didn't start buying luxury items until the last, maybe like 3 years ago, and that was when or maybe 4 years ago, when I was promoted at Target. So when I got my own store and I could afford luxury items, that's when I started buying them. It's as simple as that, and it just depends on what your discretionary income is. So for me, I had enough money left over after paying my bills and putting money into my savings and doing the things that I needed to do for my livelihood to start purchasing things. And I remember my first purchase was, I think it was a Louis Vuitton bag or something like that. And then the bug bit me and here we are. But that's when I started. So I've only been buying designer items for the past 3 or 4 years maybe. And then I found like pre-loved and things were a little more affordable. So that's when I started. And then now that I work for myself, again, I just, whatever I have left over, I try to find deals. I also don't spend as much as I used to on random things. So I used to go to Zara at least every week and spend $200 or $300 on just random things and kind of like throwaway clothes. I still shop at Zara and Forever 21 and places like that, but I try to just make smart purchases, and I always try to buy things that fill a void in my closet, so I don't usually get that much. So that saves me more money, if that makes sense, to buy things that I can make as investments. So that's that. I hope that makes sense. My favorite item to finish off an outfit. Great question. I would have to say, and anyone that knows me would say, a blazer. I just think it can pull a look together. It can make you look a little more classic. It can make you look a little more edgy. It just depends on the blazer, right? An oversized blazer can make you look a little cooler. A fitted blazer can make you look a little more classic. I will wear a blazer with jeans and a t-shirt with a pretty dress if I just want to like toughen it up a little bit. So definitely a blazer. Good question. Let's see, would I ever haul knockoff designer items? So would I ever do a haul of knockoff designer items? No, I would not. To each his own. If that's where you want to put your money, or, you know, live within your means, because I'm all about that, and you want something. I'm a fan of dupes, so I do like, I wouldn't do a haul on them, but I am a fan of dupes. The difference between a dupe and a knockoff: a dupe is something that is created to be similar to a designer item, and a knockoff is literally just the exact same thing. There were no changes made, and it's trying to pass as that item. So I do like dupes, especially for me, to test out things. So I'll buy something that's similar. I remember before I bought my first pair of Gucci loafers, I bought like a pair of loafers from Target. Those were a dupe. They didn't look exactly like them, but it helped me see if I would be into that style and get a lot of wear out of them. And then when I wore them to death, I was like, okay, I can invest in this. So the answer is no, I would not. What next? How do I decide on luxury purchases? I definitely am a fan of research. I will pin things. I will save things on Instagram. And most importantly, I just try to look at things and how they would fit into my wardrobe and my lifestyle. I am very big on trying to fill voids. So I don't want, for me, 1,000 black bags or 1,000 tan bags. Like right now I have my eye on a red bag because I don't have a red bag. So for me, that's a void. And every bag that I have is somewhat different, and I don't think any of them are the same color. So I always try to fill a void somehow. With shoes, I do invest a lot in luxury shoes. Not much of a strategy there. I just get what I like. Like I have 3 pairs of Balenciaga Knife Mules, but I wear them to death and I love them. And I know I love that style. So once proven track record, I'm fine with continuing to invest in it because I know I'll wear it. So that's kind of how I decide on luxury purchases. Now, one question wasn't really a question, more of a statement to share more of my everyday life and what it is like to be a blogger. So not really a question, but I was thinking about doing a weekly vlog. So let me know in the comments below if that's something you would be interested in watching. I've never really vlogged before besides when I first started my channel. And I don't go to like a ton of events. I live in DC, not New York, so there's not a ton of things going on. But if you just want to see clips from kind of every day, or kind of an extended version of Insta stories, let me know. I'd be happy to do that. So I'm open. Let me know. Next question. What is your career outside of YouTube? This is my career. My age, I already said that. And do I have any siblings? No, I do not. I'm an only child. How did I meet my fiance? That's the next question. That's a great question. He used to work for me at Target, and that is how we met. And I am much older than him, so I'm a cougar. Yeah, so that's how we met. He worked for me, and then he had to quit because no fraternization, so. But that's how we met. Do I have a wedding date? No, I already answered that. All right, next. Do you earn your income solely blogging, or do you have other business ventures? So technically solely blogging, but I do focus on diversifying where my money comes from. So I do make money from YouTube, and I also make money from my actual blog, my website, and then I make money from Instagram collaborations. So those are the 3 ways I make money right now, but hopefully more ways in the future. What brought me to DC? So Target, actually, and an ex. So that's what brought me to DC. I worked for Target in St. Louis, and I moved to DC with an ex-boyfriend, and I transferred, and the rest is history. When we broke up, I met my fiance, and here we are. What is your go-to work outfit? You're looking at it. Since I work from home, I'm usually in jeans and a tank top or a t-shirt, or that Zara sweatsuit we talked about. I know you know what I'm talking about because I've mentioned it 1,000 times. I'll put a picture here somewhere. But that is my go-to, what I wear around the house. I do try to put on something when I'm working from home, and then I try to go to like a coffee shop and work at least 1 day a week just to get some human interaction because I find that to be healthy. Where am I from? I already answered that. St. Louis, Missouri. Are you an introvert? I sense that you might be. I believe I am. I always tell people I seem really quiet until you know me, and then I talk a lot. So I would say then yes, that's an introvert, right? I think so. I'm not an expert, but basically, if I go into like a crowd of people or like a room of people, I don't walk up and introduce myself. I am working on that, but I am shy in that way that I can get not intimidated, but I just like I have stage fright, like things like that. So but once I know someone or my friends, like I'm like the person that's like carrying the conversation like around my friends. Like I just can't talk enough. I love to interject. I always have something to add. So it's very, very interesting. Not sure if that makes me an introvert. Let me know below. Does that make me an introvert? What's next? Do I have siblings? No. Do I have a lot of friends? What do you define as a lot of friends? I've made a lot of friends through blogging, which is one of the things I love about social media. So I've made a lot of new friends that way, but as far as close friends that I grew up with, I only have a few. I have a best friend that still lives in St. Louis, and my other best friend lives in Atlanta, and then I have a few friends in DC, and then my blogging friends. So I don't know, is that a lot? I don't know. What's the norm for friends these days? But my best friend in St. Louis, we've been friends since 6th grade. And then my friend in Atlanta, we've been friends since I was like 21, 22. So almost 15 years. I'll be 35 in December. Okay, next one. Where are you and your family from? Already said that. St. Louis. Do you repeat your clothes you've already posted on the blog? Yes, I do. So I think you will notice, especially if you follow me on Instagram, I'm a huge fan of basics. So most of my outfits are somewhat like very simple and somewhat repetitive. I just change like the shoes, the accessories, the bag, belt, things like that, but I wear a lot of the same things. I don't have a bunch of like standout showstopper pieces because it's just not a good investment for me. I'm not going to like events and red carpet galas, so I don't need much of that. So I have a lot of denim. I have a ton of like camisoles, a lot of button-up shirts, satin shirts. I love a good blouse. I have a lot of satin skirts. I have a few dresses. I have a lot of suits. So yeah, I pretty much wear like the same kind of things a lot, and then I just make them a little extra with accessories. So yes, I do. What high school did you attend in St. Louis? That is a St. Louis question, so that person is definitely from St. Louis. I graduated from VAP, Central Visual and Performing Arts, and I love that school. It was right in the city, and I was able to do what I loved every day, which was dance, and I made a lot of good friends there. So, and I also went to Gateway. If you're from St. Louis, you know that school. I went there for my freshman year. What next? I really want to go into fashion blogging. How do I start? And I love your content. Thank you. You just start. Do your research and you just start. The biggest mistake people make is that they just don't start. When I wanted to start a YouTube channel, I literally thought about it and I started it a few days later. And those are the vlogs you'll see, like the first videos I ever made. I think I did 3 or 4 vlogs while I was on vacation just to get comfortable in front of the camera and just get used to like talking in front of the camera. But literally before I made those vlogs, I think maybe 2 or 3 days before that, I was with my boo, Monroe Steele. I'll link her page. I was with her at Fashion Week and she was vlogging and she was talking about her YouTube channel. And I said, man, I should start a YouTube channel. Like this seems like fun and I feel like I would like this. And literally, I went on vacation 2 days later and I just started with my phone, and the whole time I was on vacation, I vlogged. So you just need to start and it will get better. But you can't get better, you can't improve on anything if you never start. Start taking pictures tomorrow. Start today. If you see this video today, go outside right now and take a picture. And then figure out how to edit that picture, and then figure out how you can take that picture better, then figure out what poses work for your body, then figure out what kind of content you want to create, and figure out like what your aesthetic is, figure out the audience that you want. But you just have to start. That's my advice. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Do you have any kids? How long have you been married? No kids, and not married yet. How long does it take to edit a YouTube IG video? How long for a photo post? Great questions. I love editing. It is part of the creative side to me, but it takes a while. For YouTube videos, I edit everything. This is my little secret. I edit everything on my phone. So when I first started, I had sleepless nights of trying to get different software and figure out iMovie and Adobe and everything else. And that is something I will outsource at some point. But for now, I do everything on my phone. So I use my Canon T6i camera and I download everything to my phone and I edit in an app called Splice. And I just put everything together and add anything I want to add to it, and then I upload it to YouTube. So I just try to keep it simple. Again, that's just me starting, right? I could have said, hey, I'm not going to start a channel until I'm an expert at editing. I'm still not an expert. I won't be for a very long time, but I'm still giving you guys hopefully good content. For IGTV videos, not much time. I mean, I try to just keep those in the moment. So if I'm doing makeup or hair, that's just something I'm doing for the day because I need to do it anyway. And I usually just use my phone and just my small phone tripod. And then I'll just usually edit it in that same Splice app, and just make sure you hold your phone upright when you film it, and then YouTube, hold your phone sideways. But those I don't spend too much time on. And then for a picture, I usually edit all my pictures because I just get super obsessive. Like as soon as I take pictures, I usually edit them all that day because I just want to see what they're gonna look like. So that'll probably take like I could take like an hour for like a batch of photos. Because I go back and forth, and then I put them all in my app, the Planoly app, to just make sure they all look cohesive and they're all edited in pretty much the same style. So what is my background? I am just black. Not just black, but I'm black. A lot of people ask me if I am African. My ancestors were from Africa, but not that I know of as far as a specific heritage. Maybe I should do like a 23andMe or something. But yeah, I'm from St. Louis and both my parents are black. So, what do you do in your free time? What do I do in my free time? Right now I'm binge watching The Walking Dead. So that's taking up a lot of my time. And outside of that, I just like to shop, eat. Now that it's summertime, I like to eat and drink outside. Is that a hobby? I don't know. And I like to travel. So next month we're going to Italy, so I'm excited about that. So I usually try to do a trip every few months, and that is my most favorite thing to do. Being a photographer, that's my fiance. So that's what I do in my free time, but just on a regular, usually on the weekends we're taking pictures. During the week I'm working, and I love binge watching shows. I'm weak. My favorite wine. My favorite wine is a sweet red wine called Riscato. I'll try to link it below, but it's delicious. I'm not really a in-the-house drinker, so I'm more of a social drinker. So like right now we don't have any alcohol in our house because neither one of us really drink at home, unless it's just been like a rough one, and I'll go downstairs. We have a grocery store downstairs. I'll go downstairs and I'll get that wine. My favorite perfume is the Marc Jacobs Daisy. It's sweet and light and a little sexy. I like it. How did you discover your style? So that. What is your favorite thing to cook? My favorite thing to cook. This is a great question. I don't cook much. I can cook. I learned from my mother, and she's a great cook. But I just, especially for two people, I don't know how she did it raising me, because it was just me and her, but she cooked all the time. And like for two people, like I can't cook small portions. So when I cook, it's a lot of food, and it's just me and him. So I don't cook very often. We usually get like Trader Joe's meals, and we just make those. But my favorite thing to cook is, if it's a treat or something special, I'll cook baked macaroni and cheese, a roast, and yams. And some cornbread. And that is my favorite thing to cook and my favorite thing to eat. But if I go to St. Louis, then my mom will cook it for me. So I prefer to just wait on that. What else? That's it. Those are all the questions. I don't know if this video is going to be extraordinarily long or if I can clip it down, make it short. But either way, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it answered most of your questions. If you have any other ones, leave them in the comments. I'll be down there, so I'll answer anything. If you want a part 2 and you have other questions or follow-up questions, also let me know in the comments below. I think that is everything. Follow me on Instagram, Highlowluxxe. Read my blog, Highlowluxxe.com. If you stuck around, please subscribe. Join the family. Join the Luxe crew. What else? I think that's it. Thanks for watching, as always. See ya.